Hello and welcome back to our early viewers. I guess this is the mic check you've been wanting, Igri. We have a few minutes left. So let me see if I can get this to work. It works. So this is where we left off yesterday. Pretty exciting matches, pretty exciting series yesterday. So started off with Eerie against Poseidon, and Poseidon actually taking a game of Eerie, which was great to see. He was playing really well. But then Eerie just turned beast mode. He knew he couldn't make a mistake. Took the series 2-1 and advanced. Then we saw Recon against Greeky, which may have been the biggest upset in AOEO history, with Greeky taking the series 2-1, knocking Recon down to the losers bracket. So Greeky moves on to face Eerie. You've seen the schedule that's scheduled for after the upcoming series. And then lastly we saw Zerton against Verhoover, and Zerton, as always, playing very consistent, very strong, and convincingly beating Verhoover. So today on the schedule we have Carnage against Striker, which will be a best of 3. And then Eerie against Greeky, so we're still in the winners bracket here. There is a losers bracket, so the loser of Carnage against Striker is still in the tournament. Let's see who they will play actually. So they will play against Verhoover, whoever loses the upcoming series. And the winner goes on to face Zerton. And after that we have a very exciting match, a best of 5. Eerie against Greeky. Yeah. Get your PogChamps ready. So Greeky did it yesterday, but can he do it again? Guys, I'm so excited for this series after the next one. But Carnage against Striker is of course also very exciting. They've had some very close series in the last few tournaments.
Oh, hello?
Hey,
Can
hello.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey.
Sounds fine.
All right.
Should have a good mic check with the stream, see if everyone can hear you fine as well, but we tested it earlier today, it should be fine.
Yeah. Hello, guys. This is the Roman Primus Pilus speaking to you.
Yeah, so have you done some recording already, or will you do it later?
Today, I sent in some test lines to Chaos and VR Fury, and we still have a few small things to iron out, but they told me that it should be fine.
Can we get a live example for the stream, or?
Yeah, I just told you this is the Roman Primus Pilus speaking. Submit to my authority or be crushed under the might of the empire.
You put on your deepest voice, and exactly what kind of things do you say that will go into the game?
I haven't looked at the final list just yet. Andy is gonna send me stuff, but I have some lines like where I say I command and you obey. So it has a lot of very.
But in Latin then.
In Latin, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I can look at my my list here. Maybe I can read over a few.
Right. So it sounds that it looks like from the chat that we're sounding good. Yeah. So PF2K actually has a new mic. So,
yes. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using this on my own gameplay streams. Not that they happen very often, but for casting, I think I'm going to use this one for now.
Yeah, so if you guys are not following the PF2K stream right now, head over there before this series starts. Let me post it in the chat.
All right. Igor says I should be a voice actor. Really? You think I have the voice of a of a Primus Pilas. I'm only doing it because everybody asked me. Oh, thank you for the shout out.
Of course, of course. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, PF2K is one of the lead developers of this game. It's always an honor to have you as a co-caster.
Oh, come on. The honor is all mine. Do we have Carnage here yet? Oh, we have Striker here already, so...
Yeah, we're still waiting for Carnage.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so I have some of my lines here. Let's see.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I have a Impera, which means conquer. Impera. Imagine clicking on your Primus and he's just like Impera, or like Protinum. Wow. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make my own Primus Pilas now, but oh, cool. Carnage is here too. Imagine PF2K and Spartacus. Kill them all.
Yeah, so let's get this show on the road.
Uh-huh. Nice. What's the first map again?
The first map is Equal Footing.
Uh-huh.
And then
So
it's...
this is the classic matchup on the classic map.
Yeah, then it's loser's choice from then on. So on the stream right now, you can see the map pool. So we have 10 maps.
Oh. Yeah, I do see it. But is it connecting?
So a few of the classic maps. So we have Coastal, which I hope someone will choose it, someone will pick it. And I think Striker, he's picked it before in the tournament. I think last
that's
time,
what
right?
I was gonna say. Yeah, I think so too. I think he picked it against Zerden.
Okay, no, I think against Recon also.
Ah, well.
Maybe I think maybe both.
I think it works better if Striker is the host.
Yep. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. I'm in.
Oh, you're stuck in limbo.
I'm in limbo.
Yes. Okay. Okay, let's try it again.
How do the colors actually work now with the player names with the new arena? Because now we can pick our colors.
Yeah, the colors are independent from the team number, so you can be team 1, but you can still be red. So it only matters for the spawn positions now. The team number, I mean, colors are in your own hands.
The Striker actually went with the blue name this time. That's fine.
Yeah. Oh, is it red on the stream overlay?
Yeah, I think on the other scene it's red, but it's okay. I can fix it afterwards.
Oh. Yeah, sure.
So no one in the chat gets anxiety from that. So let me introduce. So today we have two German players, familiar to both of you. Actually, have the tourney's organizer here. So Striker has been, the main driver behind this tournament. Yeah, so he did the main work, and he's playing himself as well. So we already have a pass by Carnage. So he says no hunt. think there should be one on the top left, right, behind his base.
Yeah, and one on the bottom left. I'll whisper him.
Yeah, so players have one restart per series, but we as casters can also decide whether we think it's worth of a restart.
Sure, yeah.
So we got a little bit unlucky with the scout.
Yeah, 45 seconds already passed, and he didn't find his hunts. Well, Striker's already set up on his. Okay. Says just go? Okay.
Right, so it looks like we're going to continue. Okay, it looks like he does want to use his restart. Okay.
Sure, yeah. That's fine.
Yeah, so Carnage and I have kind of a history. We're building on our history of me observing a game where he plays, and I have to make some admin decision.
You're right. You're right.
So I think last tournament, or no, that tournament before the one Steve hosted, so I think it was Cup of Beer 6. He wanted to restart, and I thought he didn't deserve one, and
No.
I'll never hear the end of it.
Oh, by the way, this time Striker is Team 2 and might be red. So
Blessings upon you.
fingers crossed.
Serious sloth.
Let's see.
Whoa.
Anyway, Striker is blue.
We just got a donation of $76.87. I think it's Kofi. He is from Australia, so there's some conversion going on there. But thanks a lot for this massive donation. Oh my god.
Oh wow, half the donation bar is already full. Thank you so much.
Right, so we find ourselves again on equal footing. So I kind of introduced Striker already, but we did not get round to introducing Carnage. So the floor is yours.
Sure, we have Carnage spawning as the Red Greeks on the top side of equal footing. This time you finally got the Persian Valley terrain set on this map.
Yeah, good restart.
So, yeah, good restart indeed.
Yeah, so his hunts are fine. So he did go for the hunt that is in front of his base. So that may prove to be a little bit risky, though I think Striker has other plans. And
yeah, from what I can see, Striker is not going to go for a Spearman Rush. So I think if there's one civ you feel fairly safe against in early game, at least like how it used to be, it's Egypt, because they really want to, get that Temple of Ra down first before they put down their barracks.
yeah, that's
So
true.
I think Carnage is going to be fine. He's actually going to get storehouse on stone as well before any sort of military production building.
Yeah, so we have a relaxed start to our first game. But I do think what you said about Egypt may be changing a little bit, with more and more players making a fast barracks in general, and also
Yeah.
with Egypt. Recon showed us a very nice strategy yesterday, where you go for fast barracks, but you
Yeah.
use your priestess in your spear rush, so you have like a super spear rush with healing in H1.
Yeah, but that's also a double-edged sword, right? Because you do sacrifice your own TC's villager production, and if your opponent somehow manages to kill your priestess, you're gonna be in a lot of trouble. So it's more all in than the quote-unquote regular Spearman Rush.
Yeah, that's true. It's very all in. So we could maybe have a look at what would be nice spots to build a town center.
For Striker, I think at the right side of his base, there's a gold deposit that is also potentially able to cover the hunt. That would be nice. Also, a bit more to the top right of that, there's a berry, a hunt, and a gold. So if he's feeling adventurous, you could probably build it there.
That's
And
quite
for
far, yeah.
Carnage, yeah, it is far. But for Carnage, I think for Carnage also to the left of his TC, next to the gold deposit, between the gold and the forest, should be fine. But I'm expecting him to build it next to his berries.
Yeah, so both players, they scouted that the other player is going for a fast town center. So looking at Carnage's vision here, he scouted the storehouse. So they know they can place their town center in a safe position. But actually Striker going for a rather safe position. It also means less walking time, so you can immediately put down your town center.
Mm-hmm.
You already had the resources.
Carnage's TC is in a better spot overall, I think. Less defensive, more like more potentially, map control-y, if you could say it like that. But for the late game, I think it's in a better spot if he, kind of expands to the left now, and in H3 he can put a market where his scout is now. Right now, it's going to be a pretty good market route.
Exactly, so it will be very useful for the late game for this market line. Let's see, so we do have a barracks for Striker right now. See, Carnage also building a barracks. Both players on top of their eco upgrades, very nice.
Yeah, Striker also made a second priestess for his second TC, so that's really cool to see.
Yeah, we saw Zerton yesterday doing basically the same build. I think that was the goal, to do that build where you go for a really fast Temple of Ra, so you can also build a priestess really fast, and then go for a fast town center.
Yeah, that's also one of the downsides of spear rushing with Egypt. Their spearmen are pretty cheap in gold, 10 gold only, but still, if you make more than 5 of them, you won't be able to afford a priestess of Ra when you get H2, because they do cost 100 gold.
Yeah, so very true. But overall, I would say very nice execution of this
Blessings
build.
upon you.
Another
Nice to hear
donation.
the casting duo of Wood and
Oh, wow,
PF2K once again.
Even
Let's
the-
go to Striker. #underdog.
Even the girl, the sexy robot voice girl, can't pronounce my name. But thanks for the donation, Igor.
Huh.
We're well on
Thank
our way to reaching our donation goal for this tournament. May have to
That's
update it for next weekend. That's
Sure.
amazing, guys. So yeah, for our tournaments we rely completely on these donations. So without you, we couldn't have kept this going. Let's see what is going on. Some X-Men are being trained, some Hypers are being trained. It looks like both players went for 3 military buildings, so no super fast H3 or something.
One thing I would like to point out, though, Striker has 10 villagers on berries, and he doesn't have Ficker's gloves right now. So he is missing out on a lot of extra food that he could be getting right now.
Yeah, and Carnage did get that.
He did, yeah. And for villager count, we have 30 for Striker and 31 for Carnage. Oh, wow. Striker actually getting even more priestesses, putting one on his hunt storehouse, too. That's really neat.
Well, that's great. I've been playing some Egypt as well the last week, and I had the same idea that it could be a very nice booster eco, and I think there's not that many Egypt players making use of this, especially if there's like a boomy match, for example in this case where both players go for a fast town center, or say if you're playing on Arabia, I think players could make a lot more priestesses to boost their eco.
Yeah. It's one of those things that, we don't get to see too much because it's only exclusive to one civ, and this is one of the reasons that I really like seeing players specialize in 1 or 2 civs so they don't forget these things. Carnage actually pushing out with a very small force of 10 Hippaspis and 2 Toxotes, and I think it's going to be pretty okay for him, actually.
Yeah, so that's 10 X-Men here. The priestess is still empowering it.
Oh yeah, she's not healing. Oh, that's because he was busy microing his camels at the top near Carnage's base. Now she's healing though. But is it too late?
Yeah, very nice. And some villagers getting dangerously low here on the right. But now
Yeah,
the camels have returned.
Yeah. I think
Where were
Carnage...
What?
can snipe this camel. Yeah, this camel was low, but I think he needs to go back now, and he's gonna lose everything. But I think more or less he did more damage than he took. 43 villagers to 41, so he increased that villager gap by 2. Striker actually getting double armory, and that's not something you often see as Egypt, because they do have that combined armor line.
Yeah, so did Carnage actually kill a villager there, or was it just disrupting of the eco or
No.
attention?
I don't think he killed any, but he did disrupt the gathering of Striker quite a bit, and he killed more units than he lost overall in terms of cost as well. On Striker's trying to raid with a bunch of axemen and a priestess.
Oh yeah, very nice. Yeah, so this
Let's
right
see.
side is quite protected. There's the town center on the top, but these camels are having more success at the top, trying to deny this archery range. Carnage very nicely putting some spearmen to defend there, and 2 spearmen already enough to scare away these 8 camel riders.
Yeah, look how many priestesses Striker has in queue. He has so many priestesses coming out. Like this is his 3rd priestess being trained as a healer in his main army.
Must
Very
be like
nice.
5 on the map already.
Yeah.
So we got the double armory is getting 2 upgrades right now at the same time, and Egypt, as you pointed out, has that combined armor. So you don't have separate pierce armor and melee inf or cav armor. So actually 3 armory upgrades.
Pretty much, yeah, to the 1 of Carnage. He only has 1 armory right now. Carnage, I mean.
Yeah, so usually Carnage is in the armory lead.
Yeah, exactly. Not this time.
I think players have kind of caught onto the relatively early armory that he was doing few months ago. I remember us pointing it out that a 10-minute armory or an 8-minute armory was very fast, and nowadays it's you gotta do it or you get behind.
Yeah, the next community milestone is going to be 15-minute H4 now.
Yeah. And there's the H3 from Striker. He's building that temple.
Oh yeah, there's a Templar set coming in, and let's see, for his infrastructure, he has 3 stables and 2 barracks. So I wonder if he's going to make any chariots, because if you look, Carnage actually has no stables, and he's not an H3, so he really doesn't have too much to deal with chariot archers at this point in time. He is maxed out though, almost at 140 pop. That's a scary number for an H2 Greek, as we all remember from back in the day, the dreaded 140 pop Greek push in H2.
Yeah, and it's actually I want to say striking, but it's actually interesting to note that the Greek player is ahead in population of the Egyptian player, even though Egypt's units are cheaper and train faster, and Greek is known for its pop efficiency.
Yes.
So I think if Carnage does a big push before these big champion upgrades hit, so there's X-Men champion already, it may be
But
scary
he is
for...
going to H3 himself. He is halfway done with the Silver Age. So, and now he is gathering his entire force, because he had split half of his army to the left side next to his hunt, and the other half to the right side, but now he's combining him, and I think he's going to go for a push. But I think as soon as he reaches Striker's base, he is going to be met by the champion Axeman of Striker, because Axeman champion is just about to finish, and he does have 38 of them on the field at the moment. Oh, and now he's getting raided by those camels at the left, top left.
Yeah.
Very lucky timing for Striker to hit at that moment, but that does mean that these camels are not home to defend against this huge army of Carnage.
Let's see what Striker decides to do with his camels. Does he go back? Does he raid the juicy villagers on the gold mine?
Oh, he didn't do that, no.
And Striker engaging her already.
We do have 6 priestesses of Ra here healing, but look at those spearmen from Carnage, really nicely moving them into position to kill those camels. Oh, but he is fighting without Toxori's champion right now.
Yeah, good point. And these priestesses are doing work, healing so much.
Yeah, but eventually I think Carnage is going to do well here because
Yeah.
the Tox Ball is still alive at 36 Toxotes.
I think earlier he had like 40 Toxotes, so he lost very few Toxotes there. Very nice micro there.
Yeah, now Toxotes Champion is here, and Carnage, does he have any attack upgrades? He does. So he does have the Bronze Age Pierce damage upgrade already researched. Now he's going on the right side to kill some of those villagers. 5 villagers here and the Priestess of Ra, and Striker knows about this, and he's trying to run away. Yeah. Good, good.
Yeah, so let's get a villager count here. So there's 74 for Striker against the 70 for Carnage.
Mm-hmm.
Carnage now switching to an army of H3 units. There's some pro for Drummers. I saw some hoplites in the queue as
These
well.
Toxotes are all dead.
Oh
They're all
no!
walled off. Oh my god, this is going to be huge for Striker. One of the main strengths of the Greek army is getting that Toxotes ball and keeping it alive, but Carnage, I think, is going to lose everything here.
Yeah, I think he wasn't expecting that wall there.
Oh, but Toxotes against non-champion camels, though. They're doing a lot of work here. 22 of them still alive.
Yeah, he's doing a good job kiting there, and Striker was moving to the middle there because he was expecting some more army of Carnage. These Toxotes, this trade may not be too bad. You're right. Oh my
No,
God.
they've actually killed so much. Like, he may almost break even with this army, and he killed so many units there. Like, these Toxotes were the most cost-effective Toxotes of all time.
Yeah,
Look at the
Tox-
top difference now. It's huge.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, 150 against 110. Meanwhile,
Mhm.
Striker is out on the map on the left side. So if Carnage scouts around, he could. It looks like he has control over the map right now. Could be denying. Oh, and there he goes.
Budromos out for Carnage right now, so he did actually switch to some stables. And I should point out that neither player is upgrading their armory at the moment. Striker did put down 2 and got 2 upgrades at the same time, but he hasn't researched any armory upgrades since.
Meanwhile, Carnage growing his Toxotes ball again in the middle. There's already 30 over here. So interestingly, Striker wants to get his market up. Looks like Carnage does not have the intention of building a market himself. Looks like he wants to end the game right here, pushing in the middle again.
He does have a very scary army. I'll give him that. And the rest of his reinforcements are coming in now too. Striker did set up those 2 markets.
Yeah, I think Carnage is now looking to deny the markets for Striker. He was expecting some more caravans there, I think. Striker nicely walling off the map, taking some control, kind of denying a market line by Carnage here.
Yeah, but Carnage is building that line of sight. I mean, that watch post on the right side. So any caravans coming in would be instantly revealed to him, and he's gonna respond, I think. I really like that single Toxotes, by the way, on the front side of the Striker's base.
Oh, there.
Checking if there's any units moving out. But this might be huge for Carnage. Look at that huge force of Prodromos coming in. to this
22.
Greek armies. Yeah, this Greek army is actually massive here, and Striker, wow. He is struggling, but in his defense, he's getting 2 more armor upgrades, and he's getting Touch of Ra. So soon he's gonna have super healing priestesses. But he needs to hold out until then.
Yeah, and he does still have those 3 priestesses in his army. And he does have the armor elite now, you're right.
Yeah, armor upgrades are researched now, and those priestesses are healing, so there's a lot of healing going on for Striker's army. Look at that. All of those green stuff coming out of the army. And I think he's gonna clean this up, actually.
Yeah, wow. Those Prodromos, they melted, I feel. Yeah, going ahead in the population, and now the camel... He did get the camel champion upgrade, so these camels now have bonus damage against range units. So it's an entirely different story than the camel Toxotes interaction we saw earlier on the right side.
Yeah, totally cleaned up there by Striker. And now Carnage is on the back foot, and that third TC placement is going to hurt him now, because it is halfway over the, I mean, in the halfway point of the map.
Yeah, taking a note from Soldier's playbook here.
Yeah, even with the farm.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so Striker turning this game around. So he has the population lead now, and is already is also way better set up for the late game. Getting a nice market route.
Yeah, I was gonna say that Carnage actually doesn't have any potential good market route. Well, he does have a market now, and he hasn't protected it at all. So he needs to start thinking of walling it off, I think, because it's very exposed at the moment. And Striker actually has two market routes, one to the very top left and one to the very top right, and both of them are functional right now, and they're giving him full gold, 140 gold per trip. And now Striker's actually trying to put pressure on Carnage's market line, who is behind in population by about 15.
Yeah, so this is a massive army by Striker. I'm not sure if Carnage has enough here actually to defend. Yeah, very nice the double market by Striker. And if you add those caravans up, I think he has a pretty big market line now already.
Yeah, but I'm not sure about this fight. Carnage might be in some trouble here. His front line isn't holding. He is training some hoplites though. But look at those priestesses.
Yeah, and ultimately
Okay,
I think
finally, yeah.
Carnage will be able to hold, and I think also that's partly because his production facilities are a bit closer to where the fight is, so he's able to reinforce a bit quicker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see, does he have an academy at all? No, so if he did have a Gogi discipline, he would have even faster reinforcements. But now these players are getting into equal populations almost, and that's good for Greeks.
Yeah, so interesting to note that Striker decided to make a few more villagers, whereas Carnage stopped at 70. So Striker actually now at 92.
Mm-hmm. And for the current situation, it's good for him because neither player is maxed. So Striker does have a bigger economy. And let's see, he actually built a forward fortress and a siege workshop. So he might be thinking of training some war elephants soon and maybe some siege towers.
And one thing I would like to point out is that actually Carnage has 0 villagers on gold right now. That market was his only gold income. There are a few gold mines close to the walls of Striker. Not sure if he scouted those actually.
2 markets to the right though. So now he's getting some gold, but it's not too bad actually. It's 91 gold per trip. So let's see how this goes for him. Here's a war elephant and some more upgrades for Striker. But these priestesses, I think, are one of the most important factors of the outcome of these fights right now. They're healing so much. Oh, and here comes that one war elephant, and Carnage only has 6 Prodromos, who are already fighting camels. 3 alive, 2 alive.
Yeah, it's looking scary for Carnage here. And,
yeah, there's the GG, wow.
There he goes. Wow.
Very nice play by Striker. Walling off and eventually getting those war elephants out. Actually outgathering Carnage by 6,000 resources. In the end.
Yeah, so let's take a quick look at the stats. Yeah, so outgathering 6,000, actually quite a lot. And I think, yeah, probably mainly at the end where he was ahead in the villagers. So this 20 villager lead for the past 5 minutes of the game. So the players are picking their civs right now. The next map will be Treasure Island. And the rules of the tournament dictate that if you win a game with a civilization, you cannot pick it again for the remainder of the series. So this is a best of 3, so Striker can't play Egypt anymore. But I think this rule will be especially impactful in the best of 5. Let's take a quick look at these stats. Let's look at the current military here. But that first push by Carnage was really convincing, but after that, one striker won that big fight. I think that was the fight here, this side of the map. Carnage was never really able to get back into the game, I feel.
Yeah, I think that one point at the bottom left of the striker's base, where he got surrounded by those champion camels, I think that was the beginning of the end, so to speak, for Carnage.
Alright, guys. Yeah, let's head into this next game.
Yeah, and striker, nice, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, so what went wrong for Carnage there?
I think the way he played it out with fewer villagers compared to striker, and then doing several trades with his army, played into striker's hands a little too much. He was able to out trade him and eventually overwhelm him with more reinforcements. But let's introduce our players for this match if you want, or I can do that.
Go ahead. I usually just go with the one introduction and then I think people know who they are.
Sure, let's do that. But again, we don't see a fast barracks opener from either player. I mean, I guess Striker is going to build this barracks soon. Yeah. Now he should be. Yeah, there he goes.
Yeah, so Striker is playing Celts now. We should maybe talk a little bit about these shift choices. So we have a Celt against Egypt here.
Yes.
So Celts, of course, known for their fast spear rush. Later we will see Eerie play, and he is the master of the spear rush. And he's shown us many times in the past weeks why Celt spears are so good.
Yeah, I mean, you could give Eerie any kind of Age 1 unit and he'll show you how good they are, but I think Celtic Spearmen are the best choice for that. And this is an interesting matchup because I think for much of the early game, the game is in the Celts' hands with their spear rush into longswordsmen being superior to axemen in H2. But as soon as the Egyptian reaches H3 and gets axeman champion, then the whole thing turns around and their infantry fights. It is a struggle for the Egyptian to reach H3 in this situation, but I think if anyone can do it, it's Carnage. He is one of the most experienced high-level Egyptian players, so let's see how he does it. Oh, I like this by Striker. He is sending 2 spearmen from the side of the map, so Carnage is going to think that this spearman is the first one, while in fact there are 2 spearmen coming in from the top of the map. That's really nice.
Yeah, I love to see it, and he knows exactly where that hunt from Carnage is. Carnage, he did make a barracks of his own. He is making some spearmen. So I think, given the timing of these spearmen, I think he will be fine to defend. Actually, his barracks was a bit later than Striker's, though, going for the 2 storehouses, I think.
Yeah, but he does have 3 spearmen out already, and he's making some more. And if he needs it, yeah, he is bringing in the priestess to heal, so I think ultimately he is going to be fine. He already sniped off one of Striker's spearmen, so that's a net gain of 40 food right there.
Yeah, so the priestess, if you keep her on the town center, your villagers will train, I think, 2 seconds faster. So it's a trade-off here. Do you want to protect your base a bit more with the healing, and sacrifice your economy a little bit, a tiny bit?
I think what Carnage did was the best compromise. He brought the priestess in to heal a bit, and then she's back to empowering. But I think he might need to bring her back again, and he's doing that right now. Very nice. But he is getting fairly good trades here. Yeah, look at the difference this priestess is making now. By the way, like she single-handedly saved that one spearman with that a healing rate of 10. She almost fully negates a spearman's entire DPS, and she was just able to do that, and that spearman survives thanks to her healing.
Yeah, so good defense by Carnage so far. Looks like Striker will keep on the pressure. He's scouting the coast now to see if Carnage went for a duck. Looks like he's going for a big town center after aging up here.
But he is also making a storehouse on gold. That is a peculiar choice. With no production other than a barracks, I wonder if he is gonna make some. I don't know. Is he gonna make some longswordsmen? You think, or what? Maybe he wants to get Spearman Champion and snipe Carnage's TC as he is building it.
No, I think it's just already setting himself up for building longswordsmen later on. So it's best to have your buildings be built by a single villager. So
That's true. There's the second TC from Striker, and yeah, he is already going into longswordsman production. And for Carnage, oh wow, this is very, very ambitious by Carnage, but I really like it. This is a very good spot for a second TC, covering two boars, an entire set of deer, and a gold mine. And for the future, that can serve as an excellent destination for Carnage's caravans.
yeah, so it was kind of a risky play there to go out there with only a few spearmen. But it paid off. It looks like he will be getting his town center up here.
Oh, okay. 2 spearmen down for a villager. 21 villagers to 21. So Carnage still okay. That being said, Striker second. Oh, actually, both players have their second TC up almost at the same time.
Oh,
Very nice. And now a stable coming down for Carnage. How often do you see that? Stables being a second military building of choice for Egypt in this matchup.
yeah, you're right
Yeah.
actually.
That's
Especially against Celts. I think in most matchups, if you build your stable as one of the first two production facilities, you will have so many camels if you build constantly from them. Ideally, you would have like 5 or maybe 10 to put on some pressure. Oh no, will that get denied here?
No, I think Carnage can save it. If he keeps right-clicking on the stable, he can repair this. He just needs to put one villager on the stable to repair. It only has 223 health left.
You gonna keep it like this? Like, this is fine.
I mean, yeah, it's making me anxious looking at that burning stable. I like I think yeah, exactly. Thank you. But while we were busy, Striker did put down a dock, and now he already has a fishing boat out, and the second one is on the way. And he is ahead in villagers by 2 compared to Carnage at this moment in time, and he's gonna only get it. He's gonna only make the gap bigger because of the fishing boats.
Yeah, so he's doing a good job keeping an eye on the coast of Carnage to see if Carnage is building a dock. And of course, if Carnage just built a dock, immediately get a swan ship. So Carnage has a few camels now. Let's see if he can make something happen. Of course, Striker knows that this is coming. He's making some spearmen now. Let's see what production facilities he went for. Actually, he's only got the 2 barracks here, which makes me think that he may be looking... Actually, I missed the 3rd barracks. I was gonna say he may go for fast H3, because usually that's how this matchup goes, quickly into H3, but maybe not this time.
Oh, Carnage is aware of that dock, actually. Now he is. And he does have a very sizable force back in his own base to defend any kind of potential raid from Striker. And I'm curious, is Carnage going to send some of his units to deny that dock? Because there's not much Striker has to defend right now. He's even getting Sacred Groves. And that's an interesting choice because at the moment, I think he can be very comfortable just using the fishing boats as a food source, but he seems to be looking to use some sacred deer as well. And look at that Temple of Set going down for Carnage. So I
Yeah,
think I'm gonna switch to Axeman Champion and Chariot Archers. That's probably why he made that stable.
yeah. So as you said at the start of this game, usually Egypt against Celt. Once the Egyptian player hits H3 and gets those X-Men champion, the tide turns into the favor of the Egyptian player. That splash damage, that area damage is just so good. And
Yeah,
Carnage
not
actually
that.
already has the 450 gold. So
Oh,
very
wow.
good macro there.
I think he had planned this all along. Look how many villagers he has on gold. You usually don't have this many on gold at this point in time with Egypt in this matchup, but I think he um, like planned on having extra villagers and immediately Axeman Champion being researched for Carnage. Yeah, very nice. Second dock coming down for Striker though.
Yeah, so how do you feel about Carnage not going on the water?
Yeah, I was about to mention I'm a little bit surprised that Carnage isn't reacting at all to this. But maybe he can do enough damage on land that Striker's water income won't give him too much advantage. But let's see. Carnage did snipe one villager and kill the gold storehouse for Striker, but he did lose um, a camel rider for it.
Yeah, so villager count currently 53 for Striker against the 49. And actually, I see a merchant transport in the queue right there. It looks like Striker is going on the island. Love to see
Yeah,
it.
but Carnage is now sending his axemen to deal with the dogs, and I think that's a fine choice because now Striker doesn't really have anything to deal with those axemen. Like, look at his army. Uh, sure, he does have some longswordsmen and a couple of bowmen, but they have 30 almost champion axemen for Carnage, and he's also getting champion camel. So these bowmen will die to these camel riders pretty fast. Oh, and Striker using the repair on the dock, so Carnage can't actually finish it off. But I don't know if Striker can take this fight.
I'm not sure. I'm wondering where is the rest of Carnage's army?
Yeah, where are the camels? The camels are... Wait. I don't see the camels.
Oh, they're on the right side next to the gold mine. Carnage, yeah, of course, he was getting Camel Champion.
Mm-hmm.
He only has the 2 stables, so he didn't build that many more. But looks like the X-Men didn't need them. He's going back now, and I think you made a good point there earlier when Carnage spotted that duck. That he could have maybe denied that.
Yeah, and right now Striker is getting a lot of extra food income with those 8 fishing boats. That being said, he doesn't have Netlures research at the moment, so these fishing boats could be gathering a little faster. But overall, Striker is doing just fine, adding in stables, and he does have an armory. And the first upgrade he's getting is actually pierce damage, and he's just maxing out on bowmen. And on the other hand, let's see, Carnage has 14 champion camels with a priestess of Ra in the mix to heal his units back up, and he's researching melee damage upgrade first, so his camels are going to be extra good against those bowmen.
Yeah, so usually once the Egyptian player hits H3 in this matchup, we see a lot of aggression because there's such a power spike, and these X-Men champion are so good, but also Camel champion is a really good upgrade. But Carnage is playing a bit passive, a bit more safe.
I think he's fine overall. He does have 72 villagers, and now he's trying to raid with his camels. And Striker is quite stuck in his base. He doesn't really have much. He is getting the training time right, so that's very nice for him. And now he's actually training a swan ship to defend this dock. And is Carnage actually going to deny this dock before that swan ship gets out? I think if those fishing boats repair it in time, oh, it's gonna be close. Oh, yeah. Oh, they do manage to. Oh, Striker does get the swan ship out, but the dock goes down. But that's okay. Striker already has another dock, so it can serve as the drop-off point for those fishing boats. But that was
Look
a
at
nice.
this. What is going on this island? Have you ever seen this?
Oh my god! Wait, what? Hold on a minute.
Is it? Is this a
Carnage
thing?
is dropping off to the gold mine?
Yeah.
Oh my god! I think this is the first time I'm seeing this.
I didn't know this was a thing.
Because I guess you never see two gold deposits so close to each other. Oh my god, this is surprising. We discovered something new today after 10 years.
This is an education stream now, guys.
Yes. Oh my lord.
And I really
Never-
like this, building the dock on the island, as well as in the very corner of his own part of the island, so we can have a nice merchant transport line for his gold. So I was going to point out that he did build this 3 town centers very close to each other, and of course for a market line later on that may be problematic. But he may not even need one.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go for merchant transport trading with that dock he made on the right side of the treasure island. But I'm worried for him because the distance between the island and the edge of the map is not too big, and if he trains too many merchant transports, I wonder if they're gonna get stuck.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Well,
Lots of going down for Carnage at the same
I
time.
do remember you changed it a while ago, right? That
Yeah, I did, but still, I'm not sure. Like, depends on how many transports Striker makes, I guess.
some gaps are just unpatchable.
Yes.
And this is starting to become a very scary force of camels. 24 camel champions.
And let's see, 51 bowmen though for Striker. I think at this point in time, Carnage needs war elephants to deal with that many bowmen. Oh, and Striker is trying to wall off Carnage, even putting down that barracks so he can wall it off. But I think these camels will be fine. Each volley of these bowmen takes down 1 camel at a time.
But he
Oh,
does
but-
have to run through the base now. I think he will be fine ultimately. But this is kind of what worked really well for Striker last game, where there was an unexpected wall for Carnage.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
These merchant transports are giving Striker a lot of gold here, actually. 150 gold per trip.
There are a lot of villagers dying here. There were 46 villagers at one point here on the left. He did garrison a lot of them. Oh, he's trying to wall them in now. But I think Striker may be losing a lot of villagers here, trying to make this excellent play. He's at 70 villagers to the 89 of Carnage. That being said, he does kill all of the camels here, it looks like.
But look at what Carnage is replacing them with. War elephants.
Oh yeah.
Striker does not have much to deal with those war elephants at the moment.
Just like that moment in Lord of the Rings where suddenly the elephants were coming.
Isn't it coming though? I think it's eagles, but sure.
No, there's also a part where there's like surprise elephants.
Oh, you're talking about the invasion of Minas Tirith by the Rohirrim.
Yeah.
And their Oliphants. Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite scenes. Yeah, but look at this. These merchant transports for Striker giving him so much gold.
How does this pathing work? Like they're not going back the way they came. Oh, some of them are. Oh, I think Striker is making a very smart play here, recognizing that this choke may potentially be a problem. So he's made some docks on the other side, so you can have the maximum amount of transports on the bottom, so they don't get stuck. Actually,
Yeah, he's actually sending to 2 docks, just like last game, where he had one market to the left and one to the right. This time he's doing the same. Yeah.
So let's take a look at these guys' upgrades. So I think they've been on top of their armory upgrades.
Yeah, Carnage does have all of his upgrades that he needs at this point. Striker is getting them too, but
This is starting to become an insane source of gold, this market line.
Yeah, this is Oh, are those merchants being stuck now? Yeah, look at that next to the gold mine. Look at that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we called it. We called it.
We
There's a
call
fight going on right now. There's two elephants, but it looks like
but
Carnage's
yeah,
army is just so small.
because he's sending 18 camels to the base of Striker right now.
Oh, there was a gap in the woods.
Yeah.
Ah,
Carnage trying to kill that dock, and I think that's a very fine choice. Striker's army is extremely immobile right now with 66 bowmen in there.
and this is some very important scouting information. He just saw that there's a lot of merchant transports there. So usually games, when they go to the late game, they turn into a battle of denying each other's markets. But Carnage just found out there won't be a market, most likely.
It's a sea market this time. Seafood festival. But Carnage is trying to push on both sides into the base of Striker, who is going to H4 right now. And I think he's gonna trap these camels here once again. Yeah, he is.
66 bowmen, that's an insane amount.
Yes, and he also has the healing upgrade for Druid, so these bowmen are tanky, very tanky here. And those 10 horsemen actually, Carnage only has 2 war elephants, and let's see, does he have a Temple of Tau going down? Oh yeah, both players actually gonna hit H4 momentarily. And I wonder what Carnage is gonna use upon hitting H4. First of all, he's gonna get a TC. I know Carnage loves his 200 pop, so I think the very first thing he's gonna do is put down his 4th TC, and then I want to know what he transitions into. Catapults. Oh,
Oh,
I think that's very good. Like, what is Striker gonna do against that? He's gonna make Carpentomes, but Carpentomes are never gonna kill catapults.
yeah, so the play here for Striker is Carpentum Champion. Carpentums who got quite a big nerf in the most recent patch, now only do 20 DPS instead of 25. And Carnage, he's getting his stable upgrade, so it looks like he will be relying on his camel still, but adding in some catapults there. I think it will be very effective against these bowmen.
Oh, those catapults are gonna do so much damage, and here comes
Oh
some
my god!
Look at the splash damage, and at the same time, there's a bunch of axemen and elephants in the base of Striker trying to do some damage, but wow, Carnage just cleaned that army up. Holy moly.
Oh my god, the surround was insane. Striker's army just got demolished.
Yeah, and now he's trying to make some horsemen, but Carnage is responding with camels of his own. This is looking very good for Carnage. 22 camel champions making their way into the base of Striker.
The Carpentum count is growing now, though. There's 10 Carpentums.
But look at Carnage's queue. When was the last time you saw a catapult champion being researched? He is gonna be making those catapults, man. Those Carpentomes stand no chance against champion catapults.
This kind of reminds me of a game we saw earlier on Ghost Lake. I think it was Recon playing. He was making also catapults against Carpentums. I think maybe versus Erie. It was working quite well actually. If you get a shot that hits on these Carpentums,
Yeah.
they don't have any crush armor.
No, they do not. Unlike Babylonian war chariots, who do get their crush armor with their champion upgrade, but Striker is not denying those docks, even though he has that Swan ship on patrol. It's not actually attacking the dock of Carnage, and now Carnage has a dock built, and I think he's gonna start making some fire ships when he has the pop space. But oh, this is a huge flank though for Striker. He needs to protect those catapults, but yeah, Striker is trying to deny those catapults from doing any damage, and at the same time though, Carnage.
There's so many camels.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Fully upgraded camels though, and yeah, there's the GG from Striker. Wow.
Yeah, so it was, I think,
Like-
a bit in the numbers, maybe. He had more units, but also the upgrades. So Carnage there, most of
no-
the H4 upgrades, I think he has H4 damage.
Yeah, he also has desert conditioning, which is the H4 factory tech for his stables. So that also helped a lot. And also, of course, those catapults, even though they didn't live through the battle, they did do a lot of splash damage on everything, softening them up for the camels to finish off. So really nice play by Carnage. I really liked that game for him.
Yeah, wow. So you don't need the water to win. And despite a lot of people saying Egypt maybe the weakest Civ right now, we just saw them win 2 times in this series.
Twice in a row, yeah.
Oh, and look at the current military population.
Right next to the fortresses of Carnage, like the dip at around like it must be like 20 minutes, 20-30. Look at the dip in
Yeah. And look at the tiny dip for Carnage, just like nothing. Like he got
5 camels. Yeah, incredible fights for Carnage. Like that was the beginning and the end for him. But well played by Carnage. Good game.
yeah. So let me actually change the score here.
Hmm.
So the players are picking the next map right now. So while they get that sorted, let's look at a few of these other stats. Carnage doing a much better job on his idle villages than Striker. Interesting to note. Carnage was doing a nice job harassing with those camels, so Striker had some issues retasking his villagers after having them garrison in the TC again. So what's going on behind the scenes right now is that Striker picked Ghost Lake. And Carnage actually said veto.
Yeah.
And good thing is that Striker is one of the admins of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not sure if you if being able to veto maps was actually part of this tournament's rules. I'll let them figure it out. Any other stats? So yeah, look at these units killed, unit loss difference. Carnage is getting really nice engagements the entire game through. I'm actually outgathering him by 10k. That's actually a lot more than I expected.
Wait, who outgathered who?
Carnage outgathered Striker by 10,000.
Oh, really? That is surprising, considering how much gold Striker was getting from those merchant transports.
Yeah, so Striker was ahead in the villager count for most of the early game and the mid game until that big raid with the camels where Striker tried to wall in Carnage, which actually he walled in Carnage there, but he did lose the villager lead there.
So do we have veto rules or do we not?
I mean, Striker is right here, so it's up to him, right? I think he's looking through the rules right now, maybe.
Okay.
I
I'm gonna get water,
I
I'll
don't
be
think
back.
there's veto rules. All right. In a bit.
Mhm.
Or maybe Striker is just thinking of a new map. Could also be the case. So if you guys want to read up on the tournament rules and the how and what of this winter championship, make sure to go to the PvP Discord, and there's a specific channel on with all the rules. And Mr. Sloth Hans asked, "What is a veto?" So a veto is, in this case, for a map. It's like a map ban. So as a player, usually before the tournament starts, you can say what maps, or before a series starts, you can say what map you do not want to play, and then it's excluded from the map pool. So let me discuss here with Striker what our next course of action is. So we will be right back with this final game of the series, actually.
All right, I'm back. Did we get anything about the veto rules?
It looks like we were all waiting for each other to say something. So I'm gonna give it to Striker, say if vetoing is allowed. I mean, it's his tournament, of course.
Sure. I don't see Striker in the party.
Ah, okay.
Just remake.
Ah, okay. I think that's. Oh god. Okay. Now I see what's going on. I'll invite everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so sorry, my party was bugged, and what happened is Carnage said he would veto the map, and I thought Striker would read that and
Oh, okay.
repick. Oh god. Oh, why did I remake the party? Now they show each other the Civ.
Don't worry about it. There's not a veto. Yeah. Did Carnage already whisper you a Civ?
No.
Oh, damn. All right. Welcome everybody in the chat. I see Takahiga. I see Kasparu. I see Game Video. I see Zerton, Madlib, all the guys. Meanwhile, if anybody has any questions in the chat, please feel free to ask. I'm here to answer your questions.
Okay, there's some banter going on. Okay, we have it sorted.
Yeah.
So what happened? Carnage wanted to veto Ghost Lake. That's not in the rules, so it didn't happen. Then the party was bugged. Then we remade the party, but then Striker was already on his new civilization, so Carnage saw that Striker was playing Persia, and then we decided to hold on. Then we decided to just play on Ghost Lake, and I told them to PM their civs. Carnage picking Celts, and Striker, he could then switch to another civ, but he did decide to stay on Persia.
Until he saw Carnage's Celts.
Until he saw Carnage's Celts. So,
Igor asking in the chat, who is the best Age of Empires online player? It's the Ace. The Ace 9.
if he's not banned.
Yeah, of course. That's why we ban him. We need to keep the same level of competition across all players. So every once in a while we ban him.
So I'm sorry for to Server Momia organizing the predictions as well. So should now be able to have some nice predictions now that we know the map and the civilization. So interesting backstory. Carnage really does not like to play on this map, and mostly because of the colors. So this map is very dark and light. So the light can be a bit intense. Not sure what it's like for you on stream. But he said doesn't really like how it hurts his eyes.
Yeah, the contrast of the tundra terrain set.
So do you think Striker took this into consideration when picking his map?
It depends. Like, if he really prepared for this particular matchup against Carnage, and I don't know if he like discussed it with somebody like Zerton, I wouldn't be surprised at all if this was like indeed planned to just annoy Carnage as much as possible and metagame out of his tournament. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, but don't underestimate the psychological game.
Yeah.
So you as a Persia expert, how do you like to play this matchup, Persia against Celts?
I usually press escape and find the resign button on my screen, but when I don't do that, I get a fast barracks out, and then I try to get A10 as soon as I can, because it's really a struggle at the beginning of this matchup. Those spearmen are pretty fast, and you have the lowest DPS unit in Age 1. And you can barely hurt those Celtic spearmen, and they do run around your base, and it can be a little difficult to survive. But the longer the game goes, like in the mid game, it gets a little better for Persia. But early on, you really have to be on the spot with your defense. And contrary to what I said just now, Striker is actually going to be on the offensive, sending 4 Sparabara on the top side to attack Carnage's base, and maybe they can even intercept these sheep. Are they? Maybe not. Luckily for Carnage, he is rallying his spearmen. Oh, is that one villager gonna go down? Oh my god, one villager does go down to those Sparabara, and those sheep are gonna get converted by the Sparabara. But at the same time, Carnage is sniping a villager off Strikers who doesn't have A10 researched. So crazy situation already going on.
So a little bit of a slow reaction time there by Carnage, and I think this would have happened to anyone. You don't expect the Sparabara to come at your base instead of defend. And there's actually 6 Sparabara circling Carnage's base.
And not something you often see. But that being said, Sparabara are extremely resilient to TC fire. So this TC is gonna take a very long time to actually deal with these Barbara. Now though, I think now is when things get a little worse for Striker.
There's a few more Sparabara being brought around. And Carnage actually resorting to berries here, so that's a big win there. Striker was actually able to completely finish the hunt storehouse.
Yeah, now he's hunting on. I mean, he is using hunts himself, so the food income is quite different between these two players. Carnage is gonna try and retake that hunt storehouse, and that one sheep is still there. Actually, pretty funny. Carnage manages to return that stolen sheep. Oh, he actually found two more on the right side.
Yeah, so we
Very
kind of missed the sheep war here. So there's 9 sheep in the middle, but it looks like both players don't really care about the sheep wars. This is a mess. There's sheep everywhere.
Yeah. Sheep everywhere. Just
Right.
like in real life.
I was
Alright.
escaping from real life by playing this game. It just
No, it's for the same.
both players going for a fast town center again, as usual. Strikers being a little bit quicker. But Striker does have to be careful a little bit here because long swordsmen are very good against infantry, and Persia doesn't have any anti-infantry from the barracks.
Correct.
Carnage is going for a small attack here.
He does have a tent now, though, so that's going to be pretty good for him. And with that one spearman leading the charge with only 9 HP, that's just one hit from pretty much any unit in the game. So if Striker is on point with his micro, I think he can defend this with 7 Sparabara and that 8 tent. And he is looking at this his army right now, but yeah, I think Carnage can get at least one villager, maybe. No, she actually survives. Oh, this one other guy dies though. All right, so 1 killed spearman for 1 villager. I'll take that trade. I think maybe the chain snare can catch another spearman, maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah, still fine. I think still pretty fine for Carnage. With actually it's equal villager count compared to Striker, so I think he's fine. Oh my god, Striker actually opened with a stable after his barrack, so
Oh yeah,
pretty ambitious opener. Yeah, you usually want to get as many bowmen as you can in the early game against Celts, but Striker thinks differently.
interesting. Carnage not going for a second hunt at all. He's going
Yeah.
for the berries. He doesn't have picker's glove, so he's still a bit. His economy is still a bit in shambles from that early push.
Mm-hmm. But he's being active with his infantry on the map, so that's pretty nice. He
There's
also
one
has
Asabara in the back. Sorry to interrupt you. There's an Asabara on the map. Asabara alert. One villager went down actually on.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think yesterday. Oh, no, it wasn't yesterday. I remember earlier you mentioned that even one Asabara can be very deadly. And there we
yeah,
go.
that was recon against Erie on Arabia, where Erie sent 2 Asabaras from the side and killed so many villagers. By the way, I wanted to point out this one sheep is still there. I think that this must be the ambassador of Switzerland at this point in the game. That sheep is just changing colors but not moving an inch on
Just
the top
making sure that storehouse is still there.
sheep are so cute. Maybe
Good.
Striker now moves the sheep. He moved his scout. He moved the Asabara. He sees the sheep there. Actually, I think... Oh no, we didn't buff their line of sight. Oh, that's too bad. If the sheep did have more line of sight, maybe we could say that he's using it as a secret scout. Carnage going H3 though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he is. And Striker has, let's see, 2 villagers lead over Carnage. but his infrastructure is not well equipped to deal with Woad Raiders, assuming that's what Carnage is going for. But he's moving out, and Carnage is immediately going to be aware of it.
Yeah, I think it's safe to assume that there's lots of Void Raiders coming with these 4 barracks. Oh, I love this tower to defend against the push. 2 towers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a dangerously low villager at the front though.
Oh, those villagers are gone. Gone. All of them. Yep.
Ooh, I
Now the
think-
villager gap is even larger. 6 villagers down, Carnage. One Asabara coming into the wood line of Carnage, and some of those villagers are still hurt from that early Sparabara rush. Yeah, but now those towers are helping out, killing one Asabara and Woad Raiders. We have 4 Woad Raiders being built at a time from Carnage, who is also getting Shield Rim, which is the first Pierce armor upgrade. Oh, and as we say that, Striker actually going for H3 himself, and he has a lot of wood in the bank, which I'm sure he's going to invest in Immortal Camps immediately. There you see 3 Immortal Camps and a 3rd TC coming down right away from Striker. With a 5 villager lead over Carnage still. 49 to the 44. No loom, pointed out by Greeky in the chat. You're right, neither player has loom. So their villagers are extra susceptible to these raids. Oh, that sheep is still there. He witnessed the destruction of that storehouse.
Wait,
And
this is actually some important scouting information at this point, that there's a TC going up there.
Oh, I don't know about this for Striker though. This is where Kelt shines in this matchup when lower number fights. Actually, as I say that, those bowmen are still not being touched by the Woad Raiders. But now they are gonna be feeling the hurt of those dual-wielded axes.
Yeah, so decent position there by Striker. Actually, a really good position there in this little choke. And I think that fight could have gone a lot worse if those units were out in the open.
Yeah, these 3 Asabaras are so incredibly low, though. I don't know about this from Striker, yeah. Okay, he runs back. 53 villagers to 61, so 8 villagers difference between these 2 guys right now.
Yeah,
6
so
camps from Striker.
Carnage was, once he went to the fast H3, he was very well set up to build a 3rd town center immediately. I thought he would catch up, but Striker doing a really nice job getting his 3rd town center up as well, constantly producing villagers.
I want to point out something, by the way. Carnage has no druids at the moment.
Oh, yeah,
That's a huge factor. That's one of the main contributing factors to the Celts being able to win fights. And Carnage has none. I mean, no druids. He is making 4 bowmen at a time, though. He does have 4 archery ranges. And he's getting his pierce damage upgrade. And he's raiding with his Woad Raiders. But a Striker with 6 Immortal Camps, just making tons and tons of Immortals.
Yeah, so remember earlier in the PvP Discord, someone, I think it was Cass, he asked, how do you play this matchup? And everyone said, you make Immortals. So this is such a good unit, especially against Kelt, being so effective against infantry, and of course Kelt is an infantry-focused civ.
Yes. But if there's one good answer to Immortals in this matchup, it's what Carnage is doing, and it's a lot of bowmen. The only missing piece of the puzzle here for him is the druids.
He did build a Sacred Grove right now, so it looks like we will see some druids in a bit. These Asabara, they never got healed up, and they're doing damage, killing another villager.
But now they're gonna die. 67 villagers to 78, so every time I look, Striker is making that villager cap larger. And we of course have a 20 Immortal raid group from him coming in on the bottom side. This is something you really rarely see from Persians, and that's Immortal raids, but in this particular matchup, it's something that does happen often. even though Immortals are fairly slow unit, 6 speed.
Yeah, so both players kind of setting up for their markets. Actually,
Mhm.
Striker not just yet. He did make the wall, so he could cut down some markets in a bit. I do expect him to do so. He has the town center in a nice position. Carnage setting him up as well, only he is not making walls. Instead, he's going for just some vision, some watch posts, to spot any immortal raids. I think he did see those immortals there.
Yeah, finally some druids. Pharaoh saying Carnage said if the enemy has immortals, you need to be in H4 and have Carpentomes. I mean, he still has 45 seconds to reach H4. We are at the 14-minute, 20-second mark. See if he does that.
Yeah, this is starting to get scary. So many immortals, 6 immortal camps, losing constantly. See what Striker's plan here. I think he just wants to get a lot of upgrades and then go for a big push. He was ahead in the population for a bit, but
Oh, look at this.
caught up.
The top of
Yeah.
players are trying to raid each other, and Carnage is going to see that immortal group. Oh, those villagers! Oh, okay, they turn back. 2 die only. That's good. Let's see, Striker still doesn't have his market set up. And he is sitting at 91 villagers already, so if he is going to switch to caravans at any point during this match, he is going to have to get rid of some of his existing villagers.
And Carnage
don't know
coming in
about-
with the flank here. But can he take
Can
his
he-
fight against 32?
Well,
I think Striker may be able to take this if he goes into melee mode with some of his immortals.
Not anymore. He's going to eat 2 volleys, and he's going to trap himself. Oh no, actually, he did build a gate.
Yeah, actually, never mind that. I'm overestimating immortals. He couldn't take that fight. Good decision
No.
there to run away.
Yeah.
We need some shield wall Sparabara, I would say, here to tank against these bowmen. What do you say?
Yeah. Those small immortal raids though from Striker right now in the base of Carnage, that's gonna hurt. And it's one of those situations where responding to raid is extra annoying because what you need to make against immortals as Kelt are bowmen, and bowmen are not good units to trickle in. You really need to get them into a critical mass first. Oh, but this can be huge. Striker trying to do a full surround on Carnage's army, coming in with 20 immortals on the left and 15 on the right. But I don't think that's going to work for him.
Well, he's also making a lot of Asabara, so the army on the left will be reinforced with lots of Asabara.
Oh, but the problem is before the army reaches here, Carnage will have dealt by the majority of the immortals already. Now it's looking pretty good though for Carnage, I think. I mean for Striker, sorry. But only if it pushes in with his immortals, which he is doing now.
Quite an equal trade, I would say here. So yeah, bowmen are just really good against immortals.
They are, especially with the sustain provided by the druids. Like that healing is allowing that bowman to survive 1 extra volley from the immortals, allowing it to shoot 1 more time before he dies, and that's huge.
Yeah, so Carnage now mixing in some horsemen.
Mm-hmm.
So
He can't go H4 now if he wants. Yeah, there it goes. Both players actually going H4, and let's check their upgrades. Actually, we didn't look at their upgrades. Carnage does have a lot of farms without plow researched, and let's see where Striker is getting his food from, also from farms. But he does have both of his H2 and H3 farm upgrades, so he is getting more food at the moment from his farms.
yeah, in
And-
terms of armory upgrades, so Carnage down by 2 upgrades. He's missing his melee attack and melee armor from the armory.
Yeah, that melee armor is going to be exceptionally important against the massive Asabar count of Striker. And for the markets, Striker does have the better market route, getting him 34 gold extra compared to Carnage, who is getting only 100 gold per trip. I think he could have placed his markets just a little bit more to the edge of the map, because Even though the distance might seem small, the scaling is actually quite important. Like if you look at Carnage's marketplace placement compared to Striker's, there isn't much difference, but the amount of gold Striker is getting is a lot more.
Yeah, and the reason for that is that it scales exponentially. So if there's anything we learned the past year, it's how exponential growth works, and that this small distance actually can be massive.
Oh my god, these Asabara though. They're just killing these horsemen. One by one. They are very well upgraded, so there's that. 2 extra upgrades over those horsemen.
Actually, Carnage just got those upgrades, I think. Oh no, no,
Oh.
they had to kick in still. But yeah, Asabara champion are good.
Hey, look at the top of the map. There's a huge fight going on, and Carnage is trying to replace his army with Carpentomes, and I think he's doing a really good job of that. He's killing so many units with his Bowman Ball and Druids. And Striker is trying to respond with Mauto Archers, and I don't know if Mauto Archers are the best choice against Bowman.
Yeah, you're right. So Striker actually had 110 villagers, soon to be 115. Because he still had to make his markets, even though he was already at 90. We're transitioning into some faster units, so Horseman Carpentum for the Celt player, Horseman Champion also in queue for Striker, or for Carnage. Striker making some mounted archers and Asabaras. Let's back to the Cav Wars. I must point out that both players are doing really well on their upgrades, so Striker already getting... he only has 2 more armory upgrades to go, but it's really good. And Carnage is fully maxed out on H3 ones as well.
Yeah. I'm a little worried for Carnage at the moment. Oh, well, actually, maybe that's because Striker has too many villagers at this point in time with 120 and 6 more in queue. This is actually going to be dangerous for him because this means his army is very small.
Hold on, this if you look at... Wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Sorry, I was confused. I thought the tooltip wasn't showing up correctly for me, but... It does. Oh, and so many caravans dying at the bottom. This is actually...
Lack of walling from Carnage is hurting him. But in his defense, he still has a couple of gold mines being utilized by these villagers. So he is not out of gold by any means.
These Carpenters just demolished those mounted archers. They were even sacked together so the splash could do its work.
Yeah.
Nice kiting by Carnage.
No walls though. It's really hurting Carnage at this point in time. And now Striker is getting horseshoes and lots of Asabara champion. However, where's the 4th TC from Striker? He is stuck at 180 pop right now.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's going to be on his priority list to fix. Carnage again with 4 markets and no walls. I think he could really use some more walls. Striker with 128 population in villagers.
So the Ace9 in the chat asking if Striker is building a war academy, and actually he is. If you look at the back of his base, there's a war academy going up. What do you think Striker is planning to get from this war academy?
He's gonna meme me and he's gonna make shield wall Sporo bar. Just wait and see. People laugh at me advocating so much for shield wall, but I hope he makes it and we see how good they are. That being said, he is just throwing away so many units here. I'm not sure.
Well, if you have 130 villagers...
Right.
This is nothing to him.
He is doing damage though, like these Asavaras are gonna kill those markets again, all over again.
Meanwhile, Carnage is doing a trolley. It was a half trolley, but now these caravans died. He's down to 39 villagers, so he's remaking a few of those villagers. But as we have seen from him many times in the past, it looks like he's just going for a very, very big army. And that usually works well, and it will work exceptionally well if your opponent has 130 villagers, so only 70 pop space for army.
How I have a theory here. What if this is Striker's plan all along to force Carnage into doing what we call a trolley, and makes him get a huge army, and then he uses rigorous training and relentless zeal on his units, so he just keeps making units after units, and eventually he can overwhelm Carnage's army. But I'm not sure, like the army composition Carnage is going for right now can be a deathbally one. And look at that with 34 Carpentomes and 15 horsemen.
Yeah, so Striker was playing to keep Carnage in his base by constantly sending units everywhere, but Carnage is not falling for it.
Yeah, this is a strange situation.
There's units everywhere.
Those fortresses. Oh my god, Striker is actually going to kill that two of Carnage's TCs, maybe even a third. Uh-oh. Yeah, you don't want to trade forts for TCs. Oh, those Carpentomes are gonna get so many juicy kills.
Oh my god, the splash damage.
Yeah, oh wow. But
And 2 TCs went down already, a third one going down in a bit, so putting Carnage down to 140 population, cannot remax. And he only has 23 villagers right now, so this is his army.
Yeah.
There's not more coming.
Yeah, but Striker is sitting in a lot of resources. He can remax his army whenever he wants. And wait a minute, where are Carnage's villagers? Once he loses this TC, the timer is gonna start.
At the top, there's 14 of them. I think that's the majority of them. Yeah, they're all at the top.
Now Carnage is trying to go for Striker's TCs, but he needs to build a TC of his own in the next 1 minute and 45 seconds, or he's gonna lose.
There he goes. And here comes the flank in the middle. There's 45 Asabara champions, so Striker.
GG in the chat, Carnage. Wow.
Oh wow.
Incredible.
Taking the series. Wow. Striker, the map, and he finally did it.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? After all these series, Striker finally takes him down 2-1. Very well played there by both players. A nice strategy by Striker, going for so many villagers, kind of distracting his opponent, and then that base trade that he was going for. And he had some forts in his base to. He actually had a lot of forts here.
I think that came down to the armor composition of the players, right? Striker had a lot of melee units, and he just right-clicked them on the TCs of Carnage. And Carnage had mainly Carpentomes in his army, and Carpentomes are not good at dealing with buildings. So that one fortress bought Striker so much time. He killed all 4 of Carnage's TCs, and then he went back to kill Carnage's army, which was stuck in the between a few of Striker's buildings. So 45 Atsubara coming in, and Carpentomes are strong, but not when they're 360 degrees surrounded by fully upgraded Atsubaras like that. Very nicely played by Striker there, winning the series 2-1. So this tournament already 2 upsets.
Yeah. And Poseidon also taking a game of Eerie was a small upset. Well, not a series upset, but I'm upset by that. Striker getting almost double the tax here of Carnage. Very nice. Killing a few more units. And outgathering him by so much. 26,000.
If you just take a look at the current villager population graph, you will see why.
I think even I Am Prestige will be amazed by this villager count.
For sure. Or also give you anxiety. Do we have a next series? Is it going to be Greeky versus Eerie?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, I'm gonna take a small break.
Yeah, let's take a small break. We'll see you guys in a bit.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions in the chat, please leave them in the stream chat and I'll answer them when I'm back. So see you in a couple of minutes.